That's so exciting. Hi everybody, I'm at Skating PJ Kwong, here with some CanSkate experts, and we are delighted to be talking about CanSkate today. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, just put them in the comment section below this page. And if one of you nice people, when you get here, if one of you nice people can confirm that we are in fact not sideways, I would be very grateful. That seems to be my spécialité de la maison. Okay, first of all, what I want to do is I want to introduce my three guests here, as I said, my CanSkate experts, and they're going to tell you their names and what clubs they're at, and then we're going to talk about CanSkate. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Dowdles, and I coach at the Skate Canada Brampton-Chinguacousy Club.
Wonderful.
I'm Chrissy Mantle, and I coach at the Huntsville Skating Club.
And I'm Lianne Sherriff, and I teach at the East Gwillimbury Skating Club.
That's wonderful. Okay, I want to go back to my years as a coach for a long time. I went through several different versions of CanSkate, and what I want people to understand, coaches, parents, clubs alike, is that CanSkate is the foundation of figure skating. It's the foundation of all skating, really, as far as I'm concerned. Whether it's learning to play hockey or ringette or figure skating, that's where it starts. And it takes a certain kind of coach to be able to coach CanSkate effectively. It was one of my favorite times always as a coach, was being able to coach CanSkate. I want each of you to tell me one favorite thing or even one favorite memory about teaching CanSkate.
Oh goodness. I had an autistic boy last year, actually, or 2 years ago. He was nonverbal and had no social skills, had not been in any social situations. We gave him a one-on-one PA.
Which is a program assistant for people who don't know.
And what was great about it was by the end of the program, not only did he make it all the way to level 3, he was saying please and thank you and excuse me.
Wow.
And half the time we couldn't get him to get off the ice because he loved it so much. So that is one of my
That's very rewarding.
Yeah.
Very rewarding. What about you, Lianne?
My favorite thing about CanSkate is when little kids get that I can do it because of something that you said. So when they don't think they can do it, I can't do it, and then you say, if you keep your feet closer together and then you pick up your foot, you'll be able to do a longer waffle glide, and then they can, and they're like, oh, they believe in you, and then they're gonna like listen to the next thing you say. I love that when they get that aha moment of, I can do it because of something I said.
What about you, Tara?
I think just with CanSkate, just seeing the kids go through the programs. So many of them at our club have gone through CanSkate and have achieved their goals with their own skating and now are coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see them from when they started in CanSkate to how they are now. It's just great to see that.
It is such a great progression of skills and of sort of life lessons that we can teach people. It's about success, it's about perseverance, it's about all kinds of things. So the CanSkate program has changed over time, and one of the things that we're valuing at Skate Ontario is programs that are delivered in an excellent manner. So I want you guys to talk a little bit about what is an excellent CanSkate program.
For me, that's keeping the kids moving as much as possible, because you don't learn how to skate when you're not moving.
Yeah.
So we want them to be moving. My goal is 100% of movement on the ice, and I get a little edgy when somebody's standing still. So it kind of freaks me out. So that is the first thing. And then the second thing is to have the progressions that lead to the skill that you want. So you break it down into little tiny achievable pieces, and you work with that skill that day. So you don't just supervise people wandering around on the ice, but you actually teach them that blade push or that skull or that cross cut or whatever it is you're looking for, that's going to build your fantastic fundamentals, and so that the kids can get out of CanSkate quickly and get moving. So that's my goal, is 100% movement and then teach.
And then how do you feel in terms of teaching? There are a couple of things that we have to talk about. One is teaching the skater, obviously, but then there's also teaching the program assistants, who are these wonderful young people who are volunteering their time to try and help out, to try and get back to the sport. And then there's a question of coaching and teaching the coaches. So where does CanSkate fall into all of that? Tara's trying to avoid my face. See, that's what happens when you sit and you pretend that I don't notice.
I think we meet lots.
Saved by the bell.
We meet lots as a group and as a team.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to say that we have a great board that also is part of our team, and communication with program assistants. We whether it's at Christmas time with a little party and we review the season, see who wants maybe a new training session, or and coaches too. We meet all the time. We talk about things, what works with the program, what's not working with the program, and how we can adjust it to make sure that it stays at that excellent.
Yeah, like at our club, we have
stance.
a couple training sessions a year, and then also coaches are pretty much all the time getting emails from me left, right, and center. You know, I'm just saying, okay, or like on the ice, if I see something, I'll just go over quietly to them and saying, okay, or talk to them off the ice about it. You know, work as a team.
And then how do you reward the good things that you see? Because you're obviously always checks and balances in every sort of scenario. You're trying to make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But when people are going above and beyond.
Yeah, so with our PAs, we do a PA of the month. So
Ooh.
the picture actually goes up on the bulletin board. We actually pick about five PAs a month. So the picture goes up on the bulletin board, they get a little gift, you know, and then they get recognized on our website. And then we do a Christmas show at Christmas time, and they all get to be a PA number. And then at the AGM, the awards, they all get like a gift as well, recognition as well. And then, yeah, and then we do like featured soloists as well. So when we have our theme weeks, we let a PA pretty much perform their solo, whatever they'd like to do, you know. So yeah, I'm trying to keep it fun for them.
And that is really important, I think, is the whole fun aspect. I mean, we're really driven to try and make sure that the kids on the ice as can skaters, that they're having fun, that they're enjoying the process of skating, that they're feeling successful about what they're doing. But if we don't keep our volunteers, especially the PAs, engaged, our goose is cooked, because basically, without them, it's a tough go.
Yes, it is.
It's a tough go. So tell me a little bit about, we've got some different props and some different things that I'm seeing here on the table that I want to share as teaching tools. So how about each of you give me sort of an idea of one of your best teaching tricks? Teaching tricks, look at that, alliteration. What do you think? Lianne gets to start.
For new coaches, I like the cards.
Show me.
So the idea of the laminated cards, so the circuits. So if you're working on balance, the coach can start with this particular lesson plan. So all the information about what you're teaching and your object and the teaching cues or the standards are all here. And then when you flip it over, you've got an actual circuit that if you don't know how to put this together, you can just copy it exactly. So I have them on little lanyards and only like 6 balance cards, and then they can just choose the one they want, put their little S down, and away they go, draw what is, and it has the progressions inherent in the circuit. So if the kid can't do the actual skill, you can back them up to the next progression or even back them up farther. And then the coach can just choose where they want to be on that circuit to teach it. So if they have kids at different levels, they can have be here for one group, and then the next group they're going to be somewhere else, because the kids can do the sculling, they're going to move them onto the slalom or whatever. So I like that for new coaches, and we actually have it for all of our coaches twice a session where everybody uses the cards just to get new ideas. So then you draw a different circuit, you draw a better circuit, and you think, oh, I can do it that way. So I like using these cards for brand new coaches who are just learning how to do it, and for the experienced coaches to give them some variety and some options.
Because honestly, if you coach for a very long time, which I did, there are moments where you go, how am I going to teach that blues chop top that I've been teaching for 25 years?
Again.
So it is wonderful. It's one of the best parts about the sport that maybe people don't know, is the collaboration that goes on between coaches as they say, well, you know, you got any tricks for this? And this is excellent. Is this a Lianne invention, or is this out there in the world?
This is in the CanSkate manual.
Yeah.
So everybody can just get them and print them and
Laminate them.
and you're good to go.
And these are the colors of the ribbons.
Okay,
So-
so I've been out of coaching for about 5 years. This is after my
Control,
time.
stopping and backwards.
Okay,
Balance is all your forward skills.
Yeah.
And agility is all your spins, turns, and jumps.
and is there a parent control set of cards? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Jeez. Not a girl joke. Okay. So tell me another trick. I love that. I think it's great, because people learn in all kinds of different ways, and to be able to have the information laid out. I also find that sometimes, as we are experienced as coaches, we sometimes think that we need to have all of the answers. So to be able to actually sort of sneak a peek at something and go, oh, you know what, that's a great idea, I think is really helpful for those who are feeling insecure about asking for new information.
Well, I know with us, like our teaching aids are a big thing. Like we've got
Teaching aids coming up.
some
It's
frogs
a frog.
that we use for our jumping, and then we have flamingos that work great for 1 foot glides. forwards and
Okay,
backwards.
tell me how. The frog I get, jumping, leaping,
So
okay.
most kids know what flamingos do, so they stand on one foot. So kids think it's great. So when they skate to the pylon, they see the flamingo. Okay, be a flamingo. That's what we usually say, and they glide on one foot.
Actually, that's great.
That's excellent.
That's actually, it would have taken me a second to come up with, to make the leap to that, but now I get it.
Yeah.
I was dazzled by this pink sparkles, which is what I love best. And then what other kinds of things? You got an arrow?
Is there directions for which way you're turning or which way your fast track's gonna go if you
Okay.
wanna alternate directions
Yeah.
so that kids don't go the
And
same
then we
way?
have stop signs as well
Yeah,
for the stop. And
could have
then,
used some of those in Lima, but that's a story for a different day.
and then we use some of these. So these actually work on the agility circuit where they do their glide turns, where they have to go around something.
Okay,
Yes, we do like big ones, and then we have the pylons to do smaller, tight glide turns as well.
so you
Yeah.
put this is like a frisbee kind of
Yeah,
idea?
like a frisbee.
And
Yeah.
you just lay it flat on the,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So what about the people who talk about stuff being on the ice and it being a hazard for the kids? Where do you guys stand on that?
I don't put anything in a circuit that's going backwards that I
Okay.
think is gonna be unsafe. So
Okay.
if we're doing a sculling, my PAs all know that we do forward sculling with beanbags or little tiny
Sure.
stuffies so that they're not gonna, I don't put huge things like that and get them to scull over top of them because they'll
Although
kill
that's
themselves.
fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun, splits for everybody.
Yeah.
But when they're going backwards, my PAs know automatically you don't put anything there because the kids are gonna trip on them, step
Yep.
on them, fall, kill themselves.
Because that's one of the things that people need to know is that safety first, and that coaches are being cognizant of the fact that this program is designed in order for kids to enjoy their skating experience, and tripping backwards over stuff isn't going to be as enjoyable, for instance. So, do we have any comments yet? No comments? People are just watching and having a good time. Okay, make sure you put in comments, even hi, and we'll be sure to sort of say hi to you. But any questions, any comments about CanSkate and how to deliver an excellent program? That's what we're here for, and that's what we're talking about. So now, tell me, in the Huntsville world, do you have very much ice time? So we're talking about a club that's more rural. Do you have to share the ice with the hockey club?
With
Like,
the
how does
hockey
it work?
clubs, yeah, we're able to get 2 full nights of skating a week, and then we're sporadic throughout the rest. So we have
Okay.
2 CanSkate sessions, and they're usually placed in the middle of our other sessions. So sometimes there's not a lot of time to prepare. We're quite organized. We have bins and organize the program for the PAs ahead of time. One of our sessions, we don't even have a flood before, so they literally finish, throw on their hoodies. They have red hoodies for PAing, grab the stuff and go. And so we keep them organized with their circuits and everything that they're drawing, and they're quite efficient. Everyone gets a job. You know, somebody does the pylons for the fast track, somebody does this circuit and this circuit, and some
Sure.
are, we also have our pre-cans as well, so they're a circuit within a circuit on our sessions. So
And what is the biggest value that CanSkate offers in a rural community like Huntsville?
we have a really fun, great program, I think, right? And we have a great team of people that run it, and when they come in, I think the kids feel really special. I think we make them feel special, and in Muskoka especially, one of our big things is outdoor rinks and outdoor, and so they get to come and learn their great basics, whether they're going to hockey or skating, or they're just going to the nice big ice track at
Sure.
the park. And
Creates community.
It creates community, it does, absolutely.
And what can the clubs be doing to help deliver the best possible CanSkate program? Oops, sorry. There. Any ideas? Are
One
there
of the
things-
new things that we've added is off ice for our CanSkaters. So the idea came about when they were talking about LTAD and the idea of having kids be athletes
long-term
first.
athlete development.
Sorry, when kids
Okay.
were being
Yep.
athletes before they were being skaters or ring act players or hockey players. So we wanted to give them a foundation and a warm up. So we have in our club, we actually have a resident athletic therapist who does our off ice for our older kids, and she comes for half an hour before the CanSkate session and runs them through an agility, coordination, athletic kind of warm up, and then they get their skates on and they go on the ice. The little people have 10 minutes. The ones that can't stand up on the ice yet, we do a 10-minute off ice that has increased the ability for the kids to get up on the ice so much faster. We've been doing it 2 years. I stole it from a little club up in Beaverton, where I saw a 16-year-old girl just doing this little off ice marching thing, because some of my parents were bringing their kids from the stroller, putting their skates on and bringing them to the ice, driving them to the ice, and then expecting them to be able to stand up on skates.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. And the kids were killing themselves, and I'm saying, could you practice with them just like getting on their skates, getting on their knees, and then getting up? And I was giving them the homework to get their kids' core strong enough. And we started doing it with a little bit of music because one of my coaches said, I don't know what to sing, I don't know how to do this. So I put like the ants go marching and head and shoulders, knees and toes, and the little mermaid songs, so they could do fishies in the ocean, and they go down their hands and knees and they do the little fishy song. And they do, they get up on one knee and they get up, and they were actually able to get up on the ice so much faster that my little red group, which is, I call them the crawlers and criers, they
The C group.
the C group, they almost disappeared because they were getting out of that group so fast that I used to have lots of coaches in that group, and I was having only one coach left there. Everybody else was skating already. So it was amazing. So for that 10 minutes is the best value for us. That's the newest thing we've done.
So for clubs that don't have maybe an athletic therapist, is this a program that can be duplicated by, let's say, a very strong PA or a
Absolutely.
volunteer?
Yeah, we've even had Herbie away, and the PAs just know it from their class, and they just run it.
Okay.
And we have a parent that does like yoga, and she just decided one day that she'd come and help. And so sometimes when our athletic therapist was away, she just stepped in and did it, and didn't even want to get paid. So it was kind of good.
We do stations.
Yeah.
So as they come in the door, so we have a jumping jack station, and they do their station as they come down the hallway to get their name tag or their rewards for that day. And we have music playing, and a lot of times we have a board member or a PA.
That's a
if
great
we can get
idea.
them, getting them
Yeah.
along
That's a
to
great
do
idea.
their-
I love that.
I know
I'm
that
gonna steal
too.
that.
And are they in skates at that time?
No, they're not in skates. at
They're
that
in their
time.
shoes.
No.
Okay.
But
And
if we have a PA, when it is time though, if there's one free, then they go outside and they do a little extra warm up before they step on the ice.
is it, I want to talk a little bit about communication because we all know as skating people kind of what it is that we're doing. How important is it and what kinds of things do you do to help communicate what we're doing to the parents?
Well, we do we're doing in a couple of weeks a farmer's market too. So we're going to promote our club.
Where, when, can I come?
We have two coming up actually. One in the facility, it's not far from where we skate out of, and then we have one that's in downtown Brampton to promote the club. And then we do a lot of email blasts. We have big banners right in front of our ice surface because we have two ice pads at our rink.
Okay.
And the big thing with us is we compete with the city. So we could be running our CanSkate program, and on the other rink at the same time is the city program. So we do get a lot that come from the city because they see our program, how much fun it is, and music, and kids are moving, whereas the city, they're standing still. And we have a lot of we have even our parents that help out with our CanSkate program, they're great. They know the program inside out. When parents come and ask questions, they give all the right answers and say, come join our club, and we have a lot that do that.
If you were to sort of fundamentally explain the difference between a CanSkate program that's run by a Skate Ontario, Skate Canada club, and maybe a Learn to Skate program that's operated either by a city or where else, what would the difference be?
One is teaching and one is babysitting.
Okay.
That's I've seen them. They go back and forth, following the coach. Lovely young
People
kids,
teaching
usually
it, yeah.
lovely people, but they're not actually teaching them anything. The kids are just learning by accident, it looks like. And when we're teaching, you've got a skill that you want. I was at the Newmarket Skating Club and I watched a coach on his knees with a foot still from a kid and another kid and his other hand on the skate making that skull happen while he pushed himself along the ice and made the kid move. And I was like, you have got what you wanted there, buddy. It was incredible how much work he was doing to make that happen and have the kid understand it. When I want a stage 4 crosscut and I want that foot to actually come right over and I hold the kid's hand and I just say, wait, now relax, stay there. Oh, good. They now have a crossed over foot and they can add that undercut in 2 seconds and they're going to have a stage 4 and a stage 5 crosscut in a very short period of time. It's because you know what you're teaching. You know how to teach it. I think that's the difference. And it feels a bit harsh, but I honestly feel like it's
Well, it's two different sort of client groups too. I mean, there are people who are just making sure that they touch the basics, that the kid is going to be able to go to perhaps the school outing and be able to get across the ice. That's kind of the goal. It's kind of like sometimes with swimming lessons, we're looking to make sure that they just have the basics. So it is a bit of a different focus, I think. So do you think that CanSkate, tell me how you believe that CanSkate makes the difference in kids going on in figure skating.
I think if you teach them well, then they can do it, and then they will love to do it. Skating is hard. So if you can make it fun, and you can make it achievable, and you can break it down into those little tiny progressions, then they will have fun at it. They'll feel like they're accomplishing something, and they'll feel very proud, and then they're gonna keep on going.
And do you feel that kids are able to make the connection with the coaches with all of this movement and all of this stuff going on?
I think if you are bringing your passion to the ice, and we're lucky enough that this is our passion, and we get to have a career out of it, you hope it's infectious, and then the kids, you know, pull that in, and they're now passionate about the sport too. So I think if you are out there being as positive as you can be and showing why you love to do it, then they're going to learn how to love how to do it, and they're going to.
And in the old days, I used to have a group of kids for 50 minutes or 60 minutes, and I was dying trying to think of ways to engage Johnny, who kept leaving. But if Johnny has to go and do a fast track lap for a minute and a half in between my 10-minute teaching station and the next one, and then he goes to a fresh coach with a fresh circuit, he's more engaged to follow it, and he has a different person to deal with, and I don't have to deal with him for 50 solid minutes. And I don't have to think, and he's a good kid, but he gets to move on, and that's a good thing too. And then we go racing around the ice again, and all the little squirrels get to go crazy town and burn off their energy, and then they can focus when they get to the next station. So, and I'm the master of my circuit, so I'm the one making sure that this happens. So I don't have to worry if he knows this and this and this, because each coach is going to be the master of their own particular area.
I think she said squirrel, but I think she probably meant skater. I'm not sure.
So
You've got some questions? Great.
So there's a comment. Where did you find those flamingos? They are super cute.
Dollar store.
The dollar store.
Okay. Who was that from? So
that was from Julia N.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
And then we have Fort Henry Heights Skating Club.
We love Fort Henry. Fort Henry, you and I go way back.
We have had one of our adult PAs run our CanSkate off ice for 5 years. She's the best, and she has her own routine for them.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
That's very
Awesome.
So Fort Henry, does that include music? That's out of interest, because I think music is what drives a lot of the stuff that goes on, especially with the little ones.
Yeah.
It drives the sport. I mean, let's face facts. But I'm interested to know what they say.
Then we also have Sophie Clark, who says we have the best program at Skate Canada Brampton-Chinguacousy.
I challenge you on that.
And then I have Wendy Dupuy. It says, "Can we ask?" But there's no question. So yes, we can definitely ask.
Yeah, please ask. Please ask. So the focus is, I always say that the most important teacher that a child ever has is the kindergarten teacher, because that's the one who sets up the love of learning. That's the one who sets up the trust relationship between a student and a teacher. That's the one who really lays the foundation. And I believe also for figure skating, it's the same thing, that that coach who teaches CanSkate in a fair, firm, fun way, that's the person who's able to sort of draw that little mini person into the sport and have them stay at it forever. So I think it's a really important job. I mean, some people are not quite as convinced, but that's what I really think.
I think you need your best coaches in CanSkate.
That's what
Like,
I'm
I
saying.
would love to see you teaching CanSkate with the knowledge you gave me with dances, because PJ was my dance coach. And because that, when you know how to make that blade push, when you know how to do that bend, you inherently can figure out a way to explain that to a kid. And I think sometimes our older coaches or our more experienced coaches, or the ones with the high level kids, don't always think that they are valuable to the CanSkate program, and I think they really are.
Well, you know what's so interesting about it? One of the things that was my favorite moment from teaching CanSkate, if I could say it, CanSkate, was taking those children who maybe socially struggled. You were talking about that autistic child. Same with children who just don't seem to be in sync with kids. To be able to take that child and help integrate them into a group with other children and help be able to bridge that gap, I think is something that's really important in sports in general, but certainly in figure skating we have the opportunity one-on-one with the kids. So
Skate Canada is giving a lot of support to adaptive programs now.
yeah, which
We
is
started
wonderful.
one last year, and
Yeah.
we have like a little guy with cerebral palsy who comes on with his walker on the ice,
Yeah.
and had a coach at the beginning, one-on-one, who met with the parent and helped them figure out what the strategies would be, and then with a coach and a PA, and then eventually now in our mainstream session with just a PA, and
Wow.
does all his stuff. So we have 2 kids with walkers that come on the ice, and we're open to people with sleds and that kind of stuff, but we've had a few autistic kids that have been able to go to the mainstream once they connect with a coach and then a
Yeah.
PA, and then they go.
I really believe in this world, in this day and age, it's about making accommodations. You know, you've got 95% of the children who are able to cope with whatever the program is. But you have another segment of the population who need special consideration and special accommodations. So good for you. I think that's great, because there would have been a time probably back when I was a kid that if there was a child with a walker, no way would they have been able to be on the ice. I remember teaching an adult, this is going back a long time, who was visually impaired. She was in fact blind. And she always wanted to skate. And I got two of my partner boys who got her skates. She was an adult. Got her skates, put them on her, got two boys, big, hefty young men, pair of boys, who took one side of her, and she just loved it because it was the feeling of movement, wind in her hair, and all of those things. So I believe that making accommodations is the way to go. So congratulations. Honestly, I think that's great.
I have more comments and questions.
Great.
So Fort Henry Heights says we love you too, PJ. And they do have 10 minutes built in prior to the beginning of their on-ice session for music.
Great.
Jennifer Knott says, I am a kindergarten EC and a CanSkate coach, and I totally agree, PJ. Heart.
Great.
And we have
Good,
a question
Jennifer.
we have 3 questions. One's from Wendy Dupuy. For a club that is going through a building stage as far as star skaters, where can we go to find a PA? A program can't work without them.
You bet it can't work. Any
High school.
ideas on recruiting PAs?
High school, hockey teams,
Okay.
Yep, hockey teams for sure.
ringette teams.
Ringette teams.
Do we, I'm not sure, I know that kids in high school, do they still have to do volunteer hours?
Yes.
Yes.
Can they collect volunteer hours for doing PA stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's an incentive.
My club will pay the $35 Skate Canada fee for like the sister or brother who plays hockey of one of our skaters who's willing to come and do the training to be a PA.
That's
And
great.
They'll pay their fee, and then they volunteer, and then they get the Sunday and the little goodie bags at Halloween and.
It's all about the goodie bags.
It is.
So check out the local high schools, check out sort of companion teams with whom you share the facilities, and that's a great idea about about doing the Skate Canada fee. That's a great idea. Love that. Next
Next
question.
we have Stephanie Slinger. Do you have any advice for combined sessions? We have a stage 4 to 6 CanSkate session that shares the ice with Star Skate during a 30-minute group session and 20 minutes of private lessons.
Wow.
We do a sort of a power and edges with our 4, 5, 6s to get them so they can come up and see what it's like to be in Star Skate. So sometimes we do it in a circuit form, and sometimes we also let them join those other kids, those junior level kids. And they have a CanSkate coach with them, and that's quite often also excites them about moving on to the next level too, if they're
Sure.
unsure whether they want to move on to the next level.
Can you divide the ice in some way?
Sure.
Okay.
I just always go back to the guidelines. Can you make this happen? Will this be okay? So if you still have access to all of the ice all the time, then you're good to go. So you can't lock your CanSkaters blue line down or your private lessons blue line down. Well, you could, but you have to let them go all the way around the ice beyond them,
Yeah.
Sure.
so that they still are able to. If you need them to be developing their speed, you could still do that, and they just get used to not using the boards but going all the way around them.
Okay.
So-
Great idea.
Yeah, because we do an adult session and we have adult learn to skate, CanSkate, on with our advanced adults.
Most
So-
terrifying session there is. I'm just saying.
So yeah, so they have
Because I'm short.
the CanSkate have a group lesson and then the advanced have a group lesson. We do it at the same time.
Yeah.
And then after that, they kind of have free for all, and you know what? It works out great. Like everyone watches out for everyone, and like the ones doing like the CanSkate we draw circuits on the ice for them too. So they
Yeah.
do that, or they go around like a fast track, you know, and they're like, oh, I want to be like that adult, you know. So it works out great with our adult program.
You guys know she did say free for all, right? I'm just saying.
I-
Be careful of the
we
words
put-
you use.
We put our adults on with the teens and tweens.
Okay.
So we have a group of adults and a group of 10, 11-year-olds, and then a 12, 18-year-olds. And then the groups rotate the same as every other CanSkate session, but they
Okay.
stay together. So the adults are together, the teens are together, and the tweens are together. And then they share the ice, they just run a CanSkate. And we got enough people to run that. We got about 30
Wow.
people to run it with like 6 adults and then teens and tweens.
That's amazing. If you were to say one thing out loud to a community, how would you say to get involved? Oh my goodness, we almost fell there.
Oh, it's disappeared.
I don't know if that's better. Kidding. Look, it's staying. Squish my purse. Yeah. Technical. Yeah, stay. All right. Any other questions at the moment?
Yes, several. Thunder Bay Skating Academy, how do you handle parents who want their skater to have a skater trainer on the ice? We thought it was an insurance issue.
Oh, it's that walker thing, the red thing.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I know what we're talking about, so
It's
off to
those-
you, ladies.
It's like basically taking a pylon on the ice
Yeah,
and pushing
pushing
a
it
pylon.
along.
It's one
Or
of
like
those
pushing
little
a
Oh, those square
red
yeah.
things.
Okay,
you
I
guys-
remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just tell them they're not allowed on the ice,
Okay.
We do the same.
Yeah.
and I just have it as an automatic
No.
no.
Okay.
Don't consider it.
Yeah.
Thunder Bay, there you go. That's our automatic. Would you like my phone to put behind it? Let's see if that works.
And then we just teach them how to get up, and we teach them how to move, and we
Yeah.
get them going. We put a PA with them.
Yeah.
We
What-
try to do a one-on-one,
Just-
one-on-one.
Yeah, we just get them rolling, and then make the parent feel comfortable that we know what we're doing, and
Yeah.
away we go.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It was perfect there for such a long time, and now
Sharon has to hold it now.
if you put my phone in front of the candy, no. Okay, our producer says no.
Okay, so Fort Henry Heights says we've always reached out to our skating families, local hockey team, speed skating club to see if they're old enough to follow. Or oops, I just lost the comment. To see if they're interested in P game.
Okay.
Okay. Wendy Dupuy, what about those young skaters that achieve their pre-can but are not old enough to follow a group or a circuit?
So I've done two different things. One
Okay.
is my last group in pre-can is a more advanced group that's working on stage 1.
Okay.
So sometimes if the child is too young to handle 50 minutes, or because it's now half an hour later into the night, the parent thinks they can't handle it, then I would give them, they would do within their pre-can group, they would still be working on CanSkate ribbons
Stuff.
and badges.
Okay.
Or in CanSkate, I would give them their own personal PA if I can. And I have a group, my lowest level of CanSkate, I usually put 2 PAs with that lowest group to try and make sure that everybody knows how to follow the flag and everybody gets organized and they don't get lost. And so that PA stays with the group. Some of my PAs I use them where I need them most, but with the littlest kids, I try to put the PAs to move with the kids.
Excellent. Anybody else got any tricks?
No, I
Tricks
don't
up their
know.
sleeves?
Do the same.
Wonderful. It's nice to know that there's lots of ideas that just make sense, when you're in the middle of coaching and you think, oh, let's try that. And it seems like everybody's on the same page. Madam Producer?
We have a couple comments.
Okay.
Wendy, we have 2 pre-can skate groups from Fort Henry Skating Club. They share the same ice as our CanSkate session. They rotate between the groups every time the other groups rotate, and it gets them moving and used to the rotations. We find that works well for us. Always great to hear more ideas, though.
I agree. The and then you've got another one?
And then we have Thunder Bay Skating Academy for PAs. We have gone through local high schools and their guidance department, as there are many high school students who need volunteer hours.
That's great.
Yep. Good
That is great. I have a question. Can somebody explain to me, oops, we have these different pieces of paper. I'm putting them in front of people, so sorry. Here we go. Look at that.
Target.
These are our skill signs.
Okay.
And then, I think there's one for each skill. We laminate ours. I think we all laminate ours. I put Velcro on the back of mine, and we use our plungers, our hefty plungers, and that's what holds our signs. And sometimes
Oh,
I have
that's a
them.
great idea.
I have them double-sided, so this one might be a
You mean like a
2-foot
bathroom
turn.
plunger if you don't
yeah,
need-
yeah.
And then
Yeah, so
put-
it came in, for a kit from Skate Canada, and
it's a great idea.
yeah, and then sometimes they're double-sided, so maybe this is a 2-foot turn for level 1 and 2, and then the coach can flip it for level 4, 5, 6, and it's a 1-foot 3 turn. So
Amazing.
And I have them on, I have a plunger and then a pool noodle, half a pool noodle, with a zip tie through the top and a little hole punch through here. And it sits on the top of the pool noodle to get their eyes up a little bit, because some people used to complain that the kids were always looking down at the ice. So I thought, let's get the eyes up a little bit, and then the coach can just switch this out from exactly the way you do, from a 2-foot to 1-foot, or you could put them all on that you're gonna use for your 3 groups, and then just take one off and take the next one off and put it behind.
Wow,
Yeah, see
okay.
at our club we have a plunger too, and we have a little clip. So we
Okay.
have those little bay clips,
Yeah,
and we just put like duct tape around it. It's there, and you just clip it in, and then you take it out, put the next one in. Yeah.
duct tape, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes the world go round.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know what-
These are downloadable and printable from Skate Canada's website.
And then
Okay.
these colors are the ribbons. So blue is for agility, balance, and then control of the ribbons that they achieve.
And how
Very
many ribbons are there? Do you know?
Yes, there are 6 times 3, so
18.
that's 18. Thank you. I was like, I should know this off the top of my head. Yes, there are 18 ribbons.
Just saying.
Oh, and pre-K.
I did this very fast.
Really?
Yeah, and pre-K ribbon, yeah.
So the, and do you find that kids like the ribbons?
Yes.
They do.
Yeah.
Don't they just, eh?
We attach them to their name tag as they earn them that day, and then they fly around the ice with them like flapping in the breeze, and they're quite proud of them, and they wave at their parents as they go past the lobby window or whatever.
Well, sure, it's an
Yes.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like getting a badge back when I was a kid.
Yeah, but it's quicker because
Yes.
you get to it faster, and if you can't do all the stuff on the badge because you do balance, control, agility, but you can do balance because you're a really fast hockey player or whatever. You get ribbon while you're still trying to get caught up to get a badge on the other one. So
Yeah.
So there's still
More
success
advanced,
happening.
Yeah.
Because it used to be sort of under the old badge system, that sometimes you'd have kids like for a year on the same badge.
Yeah.
or you give them the badge out of pity of just
I was
please
a-
give them something.
I was a pity coach that way, seriously. I just said, oh, come
And
on.
the next coach that got
Tiffany,
them
you're
hated
gonna,
you.
well, no, because they were gone to swimming by then, so we just knew, you know. So they got there 4 or whatever it was, because I just knew it wasn't gonna, do you wanna play baseball this summer? That's what I would do. So, you know, it's not meant for everybody. So that was kind of the thing. Any other comments happening at the moment?
We just have Valerie Lynn Calver. There are pylons with slits on the top.
Oh, to hold
Where did she
the,
get those?
to
I'd
hold
like
the
to know.
things. That's,
Yeah, because I'd like to know where those are, because I can't find those. So if Valerie could tell me, then that would make me better.
or you could just cut them.
Yes, I don't want to do that, because I'll cut my leg, probably.
There is that. Should probably.
Me and the X-Acto knife are not happy together.
You just get the one for carving the turkey. Hello? It's not that complicated. So we know that CanSkate is a valuable part of what happens. Patrick Chan was a CanSkater. I imagine Tess and Scott were CanSkaters. I imagine just about everybody was a CanSkater at some point. When you find a child who is just advancing through CanSkate, what is the next step for that child?
To go to Star 1 to 5.
And
or if they're heading off to hockey or ringette or whatever. But
do parents need to know that there will be a private coach in that child's future, or is there a way to stay purely sort of group lesson based from CanSkate?
Yeah, I think that's the communication part too, right? So you see that skater is really advancing and it's time to grab mom and dad and say, listen, your skater is well advanced and it's time to be thinking about what's going to happen next. Are you off to hockey? Are you staying in the figure skating program? And this is what will happen next year when
Yeah.
they come out. So it's always about that communication and making sure parents know what they're coming into, as opposed to the surprise.
Yeah. We love our surprises in figure skating, don't we? So what I was going to say is it ever too late to learn to skate?
No.
So what do people need to do if they're entertaining the idea of learning how to skate for themselves or for their little person at home? What do they need to do?
Come to Skate Ontario and look for your club, your local club, and call the local club and find out what's available for their little one or for themselves.
And do you guys find that it's important to speak with parents? Do parents come and ask you about their child's progress after
Absolutely.
sessions?
Yes,
And-
absolutely.
we have a parent meeting
Do
on
you?
week 2
Okay.
where we go over all the basics, make sure everybody's got good skates and they know what's happening, and then I introduce them to the organized chaos that's happening on the ice. So I tell them it should look like organized chaos, and we're gonna watch one little group go through their thing for 10 minutes, and how the coach is staying in one place to teach as the kids go by, and the idea of movement and the idea of the flags, and if you take your kid off to go to the bathroom or get new mitts, and the group has moved, you just send the name tag with the little red sticker, go to the red flag, and anywhere you go to the red flag, then your circuit begins right there, and then the kid doesn't get lost, and they'll meet up with their coach again. So we do a parent meeting where we explain about, the Halloween days and the March Madness and the I Love Canada days and all your special days. Explain those and explain, you want them to use a dressing room for safety and
Yeah, we have a couple of those during the year as well.
It's really important. I remember back teaching in CanSkate that sometimes parents would be commenting on what they thought was going on the ice. But the thing is with figure skating is that we are really out where the parents can't really hear us. They can only see and presume what's going on. So to be able to say, these coaches, to your point, are standing still because they're teaching, the children are moving, that's actually valuable
what we want.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell them, if you have an issue or you're concerned, please come to me.
Yeah.
That my board, they'll fire me if you go and whine to them. So come to me, and I'll fix it, and then I get to keep my job. Because I want
Which we
them to
wanted
know
to do.
that I'm accessible. So I tell
Yeah.
them they can email me or they could phone the club line, and I'll answer them and that kind of stuff. So because I want to deal with whatever their issue is right away.
Okay, we're down to the last question, which is, I believe we're down to the last question. What do you think? Okay, I just wanted to make sure because the boss is over there. I want to know one statement that says, speaks to the value of CanSkate for you. So CanSkate is a statement. Look at Terry, she's pretending I can't see her. Again.
CanSkate is the fundamentals of, for me, figure skating, because that's what I teach. But I know it's the fundamental for people that are going to hockey, because Hockey Canada endorses Skate Canada's national learn skate program as theirs. They want them to come
Yeah.
to us first.
Yeah.
So I think it's the fundamentals.
I think CanSkate is where passion begins.
Ooh, I like that. I like both those.
That could be a
That was
slogan.
good. CanSkate is where passion begins. You listening, Skate Canada? Make sure you pay her. Okay, go ahead. Not for stealing.
It promotes fun, fitness, and participation. You know, you can do it for as long as you want to. It's a lifelong activity.
Do you know what? This is wonderful. So any questions, any comments? We're so happy that you guys joined us. And Tara, Chrissy, and Lianne, thank you so much for being experts on CanSkate and for looking after Canada's kids and getting them on the ice. Thank you so much. You're welcome. She's going to press the button. There you go.